My name is Becky Abraham. I work for Pathways Technologies, and I am the Vice President for Technology and Analytics. Fancy title, but basically what that means is my primary role is to connect people with technology for innovation. So I have a question for you, and it was right there, which is it data or is it intuition? Or is it gut? You wake up in the morning, you're like, my gut says it's going to rain today, right? But I want you to think, before we all started putting data driven to everything, how are we making decisions before that? And as leaders in the room today, do you trust your gut to make decisions? Or do you actually use data to do that? So what we have here is you have the old way of doing things and you have the new way. Previously, we would all use gut, right? Someone used to have their own shop, their own business, and they're like, this is where I really feel things need to go, right? And you make decisions based on that because your father or your grandparents used to run that business like that. And those are the things you learned from them. But the world has changed now. We live in dynamic markets and we have to figure out, how do we actually leverage data to be able to improve on what we've been operating on before, which is pretty much the intuition. So as we progress with the remaining 8 minutes, I want you to keep thinking, can we really just rely on intuition? Or can data and intuition work together? Or are we just forgetting about intuition and focus on data alone? So at the very end, I will ask the question on what you have decided. Is it intuition plus data? Or is it just intuition? Or is it just data? So as the world changes with emerging technologies, where we now have AI as well, we can see how that change has happened over time in how people make decisions. So historically, business decisions were made on intuition, experience, and trust. Fast forward 10 years to today, we have disruptive technologies, or as you like, you might also refer to them as emerging technologies. Or people from AWS, Microsoft, and Google will tell you, enter the era of AI. How has that transformed how decisions are made? Now, how many in the room have smartwatches? If you live in Nairobi and you don't, I am shocked. I have one. I promise there's a joke coming to that. How many are on social media? Okay, all of you are lying that didn't say you're on social media. All of you are. Unless you're on Facebook, probably it's not referred to social media anymore. That's the intuition part. Because apparently now we're on TikTok. I am a millennial, and our whole team is pretty much Gen Z, so they're teaching me how TikTok works. Why I ask that question is there's a trend in Nairobi right now. Everyone is running, and the question is, where are Nairobians running to? Or what are you running away from? Eh? Eh? I want to collect data and understand. People in Nairobi, why are you always running? Because every weekend, people are running. And I have succumbed to that. I have also joined a movement now. Every Saturday morning, we do running. And I'm always collecting my data and just watching how many steps am I doing? Has my water intake increased? Is my heart rate normal or has it increased? I am slowly learning to be a nurse and a doctor at the same time based on that. And oftentimes, when pressure gets to me, at work, like I said, VP, it's not just fancy, it comes with its work. And my watch will tell me something is happening. So I need to log in how I am feeling. Every 10 minutes to the top of the hour, it will tell me I need to go and walk, right? All that is data. That is one way that actually data is involved in our personal lives, right? Let's bring it back to business. How many people here have people that report to them at any level? I see 2 hands. More hands. Yes, thank you. How many Excel spreadsheets of reports do you receive? I'm not saying Excel is bad. Don't quote me anywhere. How many? Several? Okay, I've seen faces that I need to talk to after this. Please, let's fix that. We receive too much information at the same time. And it is really difficult to make decisions as fast as you're required to. Because someone else has put the Excel together, sending it to you, put it together to go update your boss, who will still ask you to bring the first person that worked on this to explain. Today's world requires you to move with agility and speed. The traditional way and intuition is not going to give you the competitive advantage that you need to do that. So leaders today that integrates data into each and every process within their business have a higher advantage, and definitely they're most likely to be able to see a return on investment based on what data is actually telling them. Now, for those ones that says you're working with Excel, I'll take 1 minute to say that at Pathways, what we do is actually work with organizations on practical solutions. Whether it's just you want to start your journey on data, or you've started and now you're looking at how do I infuse AI into my business processes. So it doesn't matter how complex you think your systems are, your business is, or just generally the industry you operate in. Start with the data you have. It will guide you into the things that you need to look at. Strategic advantage when we get to the aspects of predictive analytics. Now, from my rounds in this town and the rest of Africa, you will find that people have not even done the basics of data, but someone tells you, I want an AI solution. It's okay to rush to get to the AI, but we have to remember you cannot do AI without data. And it's not just data, but accurate data. For procurement, people in their previous lives in this room, it's garbage in, garbage out. Your data is bad, your AI is going to be terrible than how your data is. So we really have to figure out how do we make use of the data that we have? How do we take the strategic advantage that data provides us to be able to make decisions that directly impact bottom line in the business? And just to say that everything I'm saying is not really false. Jubilee people in the room? No. So last year we worked with Jubilee, and this was for their insurance line of business, both life and health. So it was a very fast-paced project, but one of the things that was a learning lesson, because I was directly involved in the implementation of that, from just architecting the whole solution of what their data platform was going to look like, is them trying to think, let's go big all at once and work with the team as we go, just to try and build something that the team can adopt to. So that was a 4-month project, which I can tell you was really stressful. And my Fitbit came in handy in making sure that I was staying sane throughout that project. But it was a very successful project. And this is what was reported in their half-year earnings for last year. So you can see from them just having visibility into how the business is performing, where they had issues, and being able to fix that. You can see their ROI. It is right there. So it is not just about doing this for the sake of doing it, but you have to have specific objectives in mind when you start your journey of your data and AI. You don't just do it because there's a wave, there's a trend, everyone is doing it. You have to have some specific objectives and expected outcomes from these initiatives when you take them on. So that's just one use case. Second use case was a project that we did with the Kenya Red Cross, where we built an AI-powered chatbot. I know when everyone hears chatbots, they're just chatbots the old way. But I want you guys to think today in our African society, when you say the word mental health out loud to people, especially if you're not a Gen Z. For Gen Z, that's normal. Yeah, you say anything, you ask them, why didn't you show up to work yesterday? They'll tell you, that question is not right for my mental health, right? Uh, or you ask them, why didn't you meet this deliverable? And they'll tell you, unless you're going to pay for my therapy, I'm not going to tell you. So I don't know what you've imagined as a millennial or before that's the baby boomers, right? Yeah. When you hear the word mental health, or when you say you're actually seeing a therapist for your mental health, what that means, right? Now, you might have the ability to go see a therapist, but there's someone somewhere that doesn't even have access to that. And this project was all about this. There are people across the country, across the continents, that are being affected by different things, and mental health is one of those things. Whether it is a mental health issue that is as a result of gender-based violence, which is the primary audience for this solution was actually that specific group of people. So this solution that was built was meant to help that audience through Kenya Red Cross for them to be able to get access to the help that they need without having to travel to a hospital to be able to get that, right? So what this does ideally is then from the comfort of your home, your phone, you can actually be able to get help through this chatbot. And should you be in a dire need and a human needs to step in, there's a human handover stage that has been provided within the application so that you can speak directly to a human person to walk you through the solution or rather the problem that you're looking at. And of course, you can also see what someone from Red Cross said. As a counselor, one thing that they appreciated about this is that it gives them access to clients when their symptoms are ongoing, and that gives them room for early intervention or diagnosis. So all that to say that technology, data, and AI is making our experiences better. It's giving us access to resources that we normally couldn't have with the traditional methods, right? Healthcare is available to you on your phone when you need it. Situations don't have to get worse for us to intervene. And also, from a business perspective, oftentimes, again, because we are waiting for Excels at the end of the month to report what happened, so we are always reacting to problems after the fact. What if you could actually anticipate what is going to happen before it happens? Wouldn't that be a nice thing to have? And that is why data always wins. Because with data, we can get to work efficiently, but we're also getting to work with accuracy. So we are streamlining how we make decisions. We are reducing risks, and we are accelerating how we execute on our objectives and mandates with real-time insights that is from the history of how we've been performing. We're able to manage our risks, and how we do this is with the invent or advent of predictive models, we can actually mitigate uncertainty and guide our resource allocations on the various roles that we have in industries to make sure that our businesses are moving as they are supposed to be, and we are not stuck in the past and trying to catch up with everyone else. Competitive ROI is also one of the things that data helps you with, because you can actually translate what data is telling you into actual results, which positions you in a better place in the market that you're competing against, but also you can also be able to tell where you're being profitable if you're a for-profit and where you're not being profitable as well, so that you can actually dig deeper and figure out what are the things that you need to change and what is data telling you that you can use to actually change those things. So as leaders, the question is, where are we? Are we still on intuition or have we shifted? Where are we? You still don't know? Man, I feel bad for being here. So as leaders, our job is to anticipate, innovate, and lead. How many CIOs are in the room? Or CDOs or CTOs, ICT managers, CEOs, founders? Who is in the room? No one? Okay. I'm sure you're scared to raise your hand. Don't worry, I don't have any bad things to say. So, in your capacity as a leader, your job is to anticipate, innovate, and lead. And how you can be able to do that is if you leverage data and, of course, the AI technologies and solutions that are available to you to be able to anticipate market shifts and customer demands. Now, who anticipated what Trump was going to do? That is intuition? Okay. No data can tell you that. He probably could, but it's because we probably thought he's gone and he's not coming back. Strategic investments. A lot of people, when you tell them to invest in data and AI, and this is a true story, most people will tell you it's too expensive. Now, cheap is also expensive, guys. When you tell people, get the right technology, get the right people, get the right partner, your rate is too high. We'd rather hire internally. So someone will come give you their 10 dangerous words that they've learned overnight to ace the interview. You give them the job, you realize they can't do the job. And then you call me back. Investing in AI does not mean that you have to put all the money you've got in it. You can do it in stages and steps so that you're able to start small with something that can actually work and then scale as you go and expand across the organization. When you look at that long term, then you are really investing in your organization, you're investing in yourself, and you'll be able to see the ROI after that. So my parting words to you today is when it comes to whether it is intuition or data, your mandate as a leader is not to say intuition does not work. You've spent 10, 20, 15 years, 5 years trying to build that intuition. You've honed in on that experience. With data and AI, you don't get rid of that experience. You integrate that, your intuition plus data, to be able to make the right decisions that you need to have. So data should amplify and not overshadow your leadership when it comes to doing this. Now, great leaders, when they do that and they bring in the aspect of strategy, then results get even better, right? So by combining all those things, your intuition, your data, you're creating a resilient, future-ready decision framework that really could work for your organization. So as you do all these things, I'd like to keep a reminder that as we get to the data and AI era, it is very critical to invest in the talent that you work with. So skilling your workforce in data literacy and AI applications, as well as data, is essential for your long-term transformation. Partnerships should be at the core of everything you do when it comes to innovation. Your core work is to focus on your core business, and partners that have specialized in data and AI implementations or skilling can help you then move faster as you need. And don't forget that as a leader, you continuously need to empower yourself. You need to empower leaders around you so that you can share the knowledge that you need to be able to drive innovation and maintain a competitive edge in your business. So have transformative tools that you need. Don't say data and AI, you're doing it just because you can. Create a balanced approach. That way, you're able to manage the human insights as well as what technology is giving you, of course, and partner with experts to help you move with the speed and agility that you need. Your call to action, and I can see my time is up. Invest in data literacy and AI initiatives to empower your organization turn their insights into action. Because with an empowered team, then you have a focused team to move the direction you want to go. Engage with people that not only provide you with the technology, but also that offer strategic guidance and operational guidance as well as you move along. And lastly, let's start the conversation on how we can help your organization harness the full power of data and AI combined with your intuition so that we can see what ROIs we can get. My name is Becky Abraham. Thank you for listening.